Looking for Madden 22 Ultimate Team coins? AOEAH.com is the cheapest and most reliable coins on the marketplace. Click the link in the description and use coupon code SPORTS for 3% off your order. YouTube, what's up? It's Duke back here from Sportsgamerz.com. And in today's Madden 22 tip video, I'm going to break down the only defense you need in the game to stop the run. This defense will stop every run in the game, whether it's shotgun, under center, a dive, a stretch, an inside zone, a power, a base, whatever. But also it's very good pass defense, so you can also stop the pass with it. It's very easy to set up too. There's really only one or two adjustments at the most you need to do, and this is something that works on both systems, Xbox, PlayStation, old gen, current gen, next gen, whatever you want to call it. Whatever Madden 22 version you play, this will work. So we're going to be looking at the big nickel over G. It's in a lot of different playbooks defensively. However, I do prefer to use it from the 4-6 playbook on defense. You're going to be using a safety, so make sure that your safeties are good players to user. You could be using either one of them depending upon the formation the offense comes out in. So as far as coaching adjustments go, I'm going to have auto flip on because I do like to get my nickel corner on the strong side of the offensive formation for better run D. But I will say that there are certain formations in the game that mess up auto flip. And if you notice your opponent, is running one of those formations, then you would want to turn auto flip off and just manually, flip your formation or keep it normal depending upon if they're coming out on it flipped or not. So the play I'm going to look at is the cover 3 buzz match from the big nickel over G. Now let's start with shotgun. Guys, you know from shotgun that most people will run either some sort of inside zone or base, right? So we're going to look at a few examples here. We'll start with the tray, inside zone. So before I get into the setup, guys, remember, if you enjoy my free YouTube content, I do Madden 22 tip videos on a daily basis from, like I said, tips, gameplays, and news. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop us a like. If y'all really rock with me, smash that like button, turn your notifications on, comment on the video. All that great stuff does help me out a lot as a content creator. So guys, all you really need to do is use the safety that's in the hook curl zone. I do like to base the line and finally pinch my defensive line. And I also like to slant my defensive line outside, which is up on the right stick. So, all that can be done in a split second or two. Now, when you go up against shotgun, I like to bring my safety down in the box and basically put him over the guard on the same side of the running back at about linebacker level. So you guys can see here, I'm kind of just right next to this linebacker over the guard on the side of the running back. And you'll see that maybe if they flip their formation at their running back on the left, then I just come over here. But you'll see that later. So this is all you have to do. Now, as far as adjustments to coverage, obviously this is by default a match defense. You see that on the screen. Now, you could zone drop your flats if you want. You don't have to do any of that, but that's completely up to you. That would be more so adjustments if someone was passing the ball too. The snap, we're kind of just going to shoot the A gap. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it here. It's very, very easy to do. It doesn't take much. And we're kind of, remember, just about linebacker level over the guard, kind of the B gap area on the same side as the running back. So you guys can see once the ball snapped, that hole opens up very wide and you can kind of just shoot in. Now, it's important that you just don't try to anticipate the snap too much and get going early. If you're enjoying my YouTube content, I highly recommend you check out Sportsgamerz.com. This is where I post all my premium Madden 22 content. I have eBooks, offensive and defensive schemes, plus I do 4 to 6 premium tips every week in the Madden Vault. This content is available for both current and next gen, so no matter what system you play on, we got you guys covered. Our best offer yet is the Sportsgamerz Madden VIP membership. This gives you access to the entire site, every tip, every ebook, plus the meta reports for only $19.99. I'll post a link to it in the description and the comments. Make sure to check it out for the best tips and content available at the best price anywhere. Because if you do, that hole will close. But you guys can see here, I don't move until a split second after the ball snapped, and I see that the A gap is open between the guard and the center. Basically, I just shoot that gap, and what you guys really want to get good at is dive tackling. Dive tackling is the most effective way to tackle this year. I think you have probably encountered the least broken tackles that way, and you can tackle from a further distance away, as you guys can see here. You guys can see I got that dive animation. Easy tackle. Couple yard loss. Once you do this, once or twice, they're not even going to try to run the ball on you anymore. So I want to just show you guys another example. Let's look at the gun bunch tight end inside zone. This is another one that's very common. A lot of people run the bunch tight end. You all know it. So again, get on the safety and the hook curl, baseline, pinch your defensive line. Again, the baseline is just coverage audible, which is going to be then to the right on the left stick to baseline. Then you just pinch your defensive line, which is basically to the left on the D-pad, and then down on the left stick, and to slant them outside is again left on the D-pad, this time up on the right analog stick. So to slant them outside is left on the D-pad and up on the right analog stick. Just come in here, right over this B-gap area, and you want to be linebacker level, but still at the snap. You don't want to be moving at the snap. That's very important. I just keep my user in the hook curl. I wouldn't recommend putting him on blitz angle. To me, that just messes everything up as far as movement after the snap. Kind of makes you shoot gaps you wouldn't want to sometimes, or go directions you wouldn't want to against the run. So we can see that the hole opens up, shoot it, dive tackle. Very easy. Don't go for hit sticks, man. I promise you guys, you will see broken tackles, and they'll just bounce off you a lot if you're trying to hit stick. So now let's look at a base. Base is a little bit different because now instead of just standard blocking, where everyone's basically taking the man in front of them, you're getting a guy pulling through. So again, this time the running back's on the left. So we're going to do the same thing. We baseline, pinch our defensive line down, and slant them outside. So because this time the strong side, or the strength of the offensive formation, is to the right, our nickel corner's over there, which means that the safety and hook zone is now on the left. So we're going to come right back down into this area, and this time, since the running back is on the left of the screen, we're going to go stand over the guard B-gap area on the left linebacker level. Once again, we don't want to be moving at the snap, okay? Now, against pulling linemen, you're going to notice that sometimes you can't get 100% clean in there. You still should be able to. I mean, I got in there decently. I wasn't the one who made the tackle, but I still got in there enough to disrupt the play. But you still should be able to, just like I did there, kind of knife through right where the puller is kind of vacating and get the dive tackle. But if you don't do it perfectly, like I did, I didn't do it perfectly the first time. At least make it so that you muck it up a little bit to where, your other defenders can kind of swarm to the ball. And that's one thing I really like about the big nickel over G, is it's really good run defense, period, as far as just the alignment of the formation. So even if you don't, blow it up perfectly with your user, they probably shouldn't get too much yards, because it's just a good run D alignment in general. But again, dive tackle, loss of a few yards. And I promise you guys, you do a couple of those, they won't be trying to run the ball too much on you anymore. So that's kind of how it goes against shotgun. Under center can be a bit different. You guys know under center, mostly what people will be looking to run is maybe some stretches or dives at you. So we're going to break down how to stop that here from the same play. It's essentially going to be the same setup with one slight difference when you're playing under center. Again, we're looking at the cover 3 buzz match. So let's get into single back now, and let's go up against a formation with a dive and a stretch. So when I'm up against single back, I still set my defense up the same. I baseline, pinch my D-line, and slant my defensive line outside. The only difference is where I stand with my user. So against under center, you guys know the running back's directly behind the quarterback instead of to the side of the quarterback. So because of that, when I go up under center, I basically stand still or about linebacker level, but now because the running back is behind the quarterback instead of to the side of the quarterback, I stand over the center. That's pretty much the only difference. And at the snap again, I kind of just shoot in the backfield, dive tackle, and you guys can see we got in there. Unfortunately, we missed the dive tackle, and that's what happens if your safety is not fast enough. So that's why I said make sure you have a good user at the safety spot. We get in there fine, just couldn't quite lay out and get the dive tackle, which is, again, why speed is so important as the safety position for you guys to user. If you guys play MUT, you should have no problem having 99 or at least 98 speed safeties at this point in the game. And you guys can see, again, get in there easily. This time, we're able to make the tackle. And again, as I said, you do this once or twice, they're not going to want to keep running the ball at you and losing yardage. So that's how that works against a stretch. The other common run you'll see is a dive, because people figure, hey, if they're defending the outside run, maybe we'll try the inside run, which the dive is going to more so attack the interior, and, see what we can do with that. So, again, space align it, pinch your defense line, slant them outside, and go ahead, take that safety in the hook zone, and stand directly over top of the center. Now at this point, again, we're at linebacker level. They snap the ball, you can kind of shoot in, and I kind of dove tackle through an old lineman. That was really weird, but we'll take it. So you guys can see here, I shot in, and I think what happened is right as I was shooting in, someone tried to block me, but I already ran by him. So when I dove, I just ended up tripping him, but I kind of dove through an offensive player. That was really weird, but hey, we'll take it. But anyways, you guys can see, it's the same thing. That gap still opens up the same. It wasn't quite as wide this time. Still got in there. And again, that's why you got to get good at dive tackling, because when you dive tackle, you can literally dive through offensive players trying to block you, which is basically exactly what happened here to end up making the tackle. So that time we didn't get a tackle for a loss, but we were still able to limit him to about a yard or two, which again is nothing. And when you're able to get defense like that, they will not be trying to run the ball on you very much more after that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tip video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, and we'll be back with some more great content.